Count Dracula was the undisputed champion of nailing two Bellies together across the Carpathians. But here's the kicker. His real power wasn't the fangs or the spooky castle. It was a devastatingly simple psychological frame he established in the first 30 seconds of any conversation. Today, you're getting the 5-step playbook that Dracula used to make anyone, from peasant girls to prim aristocrats, willingly offer up their neck. Pay close attention. Technique number 1 is the foundation for everything that follows. It's called the Ancient's Frame. The psychological function here is to immediately signal that you operate by a different set of rules than any other man she has ever met. You do this through a deliberate, almost archaic formality in your language. This isn't about being stuffy. It's about projecting timeless authority. It sets you apart and generates instant, off-balance curiosity. So get this. Picture him at some stiff London dinner party. Everyone's making bland jokes, talking about the weather. A woman, Mina, is trapped in a conversation with some loud-mouthed banker bragging about his new carriage. Dracula doesn't interrupt. He waits for a pause. He approaches, gives a slight bow, and says, not to the man, but directly to her. "Forgive my intrusion. The air in here is stale with common talk. Might I have the privilege of your company by the balcony?" He doesn't ask for a chat. He doesn't say, "Want to get some air?" He offers the privilege of his company. The words themselves are the power move. The banker is sputtering, speechless, but he's already irrelevant. Dracula didn't steal her attention. He made her current reality so profoundly boring that his became the only one worth entering. The way she looks at him now, it's not just interest, it's awe. He didn't just offer his company, and tonight she's going to let him manage her entire portfolio. But that frame is useless if you can't lock it in place. That brings us to technique number 2, the predatory gaze. This is not a staring contest. This is about using unwavering eye contact to create a hypnotic bubble of pure intimacy. Its function is to signal that in this moment nothing else in the universe exists besides you and her. The world, the people, the noise. It all dissolves into an irrelevant blur. It's a spotlight, and you are both standing in it. Think about Jonathan Harker's arrival at the castle. Dracula is asking him questions about England, about the layout of his new estate. But watch him. He's not looking at the maps on the table. He's not looking at the documents. He's looking directly into Harker's eyes as he speaks. The intensity is unnerving, but it's also intoxicating. Harker feels like the most important man in the world because the entire focus of this ancient, powerful being is on him. Dracula asks about the chapel on the property, his eyes never leaving Harker's, and the room seems to shrink. It's a deep, penetrating focus that says, "I am not just listening to you, I am reading the code behind your soul." Harker is there to conduct a business transaction, but he's already the one being acquired. Dracula is asking about property lines, but with that gaze, he's already surveying the land, and tonight he's going to stake a new claim right in the heart of London. Once you have their undivided focus, you have to sever their connections. This is technique number 3, the isolation chamber. The principle is simple. A person is dramatically more susceptible to your influence when they are cut off from their social and environmental anchors. You have to strategically engineer the interaction to create a world that contains only 2 people, you and her. Take a look at Lucy, surrounded by her suitors at a garden party. They're all buzzing around her, competing, peacocking. What does Dracula do? He doesn't join the circus. He waits. He watches. He sees her wander away from the group toward a secluded bench overlooking the sea. That's his moment. He approaches not with energy, but with stillness. He doesn't talk about the party. He talks about the tide. He talks about the loneliness of the moon. He talks about things only they can see and feel from that exact spot. He has physically and conversationally moved her into a secret world. Her friends are 50 yards away, but they might as well be across the ocean. He's created a pocket reality. Her protectors are gone, her distractions are gone, all that's left is him, the sea, and the sudden feeling that this is where she was meant to be. He's cut her out of the herd, and tonight the wolf isn't just getting a meal. He's taking the whole damn pasture. Now she's isolated. She's focused. Her world has shrunk. This is when you deploy the fourth and most elegant technique, the immortal's burden. This is a masterful vulnerability play from a position of unshakable power. The psychological function is to trigger her deepest instinct to nurture and to heal, by revealing a profound, poetic flaw. This makes her feel uniquely chosen, like she is the only one who can save the powerful man. He's with Mina in a quiet room. The frame is set, the gaze is locked, the world is shut out. He looks out a window, not at her, but at the night sky. He says, with a voice full of ancient weariness, "To have walked the centuries, to have commanded armies and amassed fortunes, and to have no one to share a single sunrise with, it is a kingly curse." See what he did? He's not complaining. He's not weak. He's stating an epic tragic fact about his existence. He's presenting a wound so profound, so poetic, that it makes every other man's problems seem pathetic. He's turned his immense power into a source of immense pain, and framed it as a burden only a woman of supreme empathy could possibly comprehend. She doesn't see a predator, she sees a fallen king. She feels like the one soul in all of history chosen to soothe his eternal torment. He's lamenting the sunrise, and tonight she's going to let him bury himself in the darkness until dawn. These are the tools, the frame, the gaze, the isolation, the burden. They are brutally effective, but they are all just parts of a much larger, more devastating engine. Without this final piece, the master key, you're just a posturing creep in a nice suit. With it, you're a king. This last move is what separates the masters from the amateurs, because it's the secret to making them believe the entire seduction was their idea. The final technique, the master key that unlocks it all, is technique number 5, the threshold covenant. The ultimate power move is not to take, it is to make them give. The psychological principle is that a choice freely made is a bond freely sealed. You bring them to the absolute brink, you build the tension until it is unbearable, and then you hand them the final decision. This act transfers the illusion of agency to them, making them a willing participant, not a passive victim. It makes them responsible for their own surrender. Imagine the scene. He has followed her home. The frame is unbreakable. The air is thick with unspoken promises. He stands at the threshold of her bedroom. He does not move. He could easily overpower her. He could use his hypnotic influence, but he does neither. He just stands there, in the doorway, a figure of immense power choosing to be still. And then he says it, his voice calm and low. "I cannot come in, unless you invite me." All that power, all that tension, he lays it at her feet in the form of a simple choice. Inviting him in is no longer just a courtesy. It's a contract. It's an act of total surrender. It is her giving him permission to own the entire reality he has built around her. When she whispers, "Come in," it is the most powerful moment of all, because the choice was hers. He's standing at the front door of her entire world, and by asking him to cross the threshold, she's not just letting him in for the night. She's handing him the keys to the kingdom. That's the playbook. The power isn't in the bite. It's in the invitation. Now go build your castle.